In life, we experience countless moments of moving forward, and countless moments of being forced to retreat. Some retreats are forced by circumstances. Some retreats are due to mental exhaustion, but some retreats are simply fate pressing the pause button for you. It's not denial, not failure, but rather the deepest sin of Taoism. Take a step back to clarify the path forward. Perhaps you are currently experiencing such a phase. What you've been working on for a long time has stalled. The person you care about has left. Your circle can't accept you. The direction you're running towards has suddenly become shrouded in mist. You think this is a setback, but Taoism says, great fullness seems empty. Great perfection seems incomplete. The more something is about to succeed, the more likely it is to first present obstacles. Because life doesn't follow a straight line to the end. It always pushes you back a few steps, so that you can see if the road ahead is stable enough, so that you can figure out if the direction you're heading is truly right. Chuangzi said, knowing the white, yet tipping to the black, one becomes a model for the world. This means, you know the light, yet are willing to remain in the darkness. You understand moving forward, yet are also willing to retreat. Such a person becomes the role model for the world. Many people fear retreating, because they feel it's a loss. But in the eyes of Taoism, the ability to move forward is skill. The ability to retreat is wisdom. If the bow doesn't pull back first, the arrow cannot fly far. If the tide doesn't recoil first, the sea cannot rise again. If the earth doesn't feel the cold first, spring cannot begin to grow anew. All things are thus. How can humans be an exception? There was once a young swordsman in ancient times, practicing swordsmanship every day, never allowing himself to stop. He believed that as long as he kept charging forward, he would one day become the best in the world. His master looked at him and said, "You practice too hastily, too rigidly. A sword needs sharpening to be sharp. A person needs to stop to be sharp." The young man didn't understand, until one day, he was injured in a duel, and had to recuperate at home for several months. During those days, for the first time, he slowed down to listen to the wind. For the first time, he understood the rhythm of his breathing. For the first time, he realized his heart had always been tense. When he recovered and picked up his sword again, the sword was lighter. His hand was steadier. His heart was calmer. His master said, "You became a swordsman not because you practiced a lot, but because you finally learned to retreat." We often do this. The more eager we are to prove ourselves, the more we are misunderstood. The more eager we are to grasp a relationship, the more it slips through our fingers. The more eager we are to get promoted, the more likely we are to make mistakes. The more eager we are to change our fate, the more we take the wrong path. In fact, fate may seem slow, but it never misleads. It will turn you back when you are tired, make you stop when you are confused, make you hit a wall when you are stubborn. It's not punishment, but a reminder. You need to take a step back and see the bigger picture. Like standing before a wall, taking a step forward means crashing, but taking a step back reveals the corner. Have you noticed that the most important decisions in life are often not made impulsively, but rather during periods of silence, patience, thought, and self-reflection? Taoism calls this stage accumulation, accumulating strength, momentum, mind, and wisdom. Trees stop growing in winter, just to unleash their power and bloom all at once in spring. Clouds can gather in the sky, so there won't be rain. The human heart is the same. If you are currently retreating, stagnating, or trapped, it's not because you're incapable, but because you are accumulating. Some people leave you not because you're not good enough, but because you meet someone more compatible in the future. Some opportunities you miss aren't because you didn't seize them, but because they weren't meant to be. Some paths you can't walk now aren't because you lack ability, but because walking them will only cause you deeper wounds. Taoism says, misfortune may be a blessing in disguise. What you perceive as bad is often the prelude to good fortune. True maturity in life is this. You know when to be strong, and when to be weak. You know when to persevere, and when to let go. You know when to charge forward, and when to stop. You will no longer blindly move forward, nor fear retreating, because you know, retreating is part of speed, stopping is part of direction. You are not falling behind. You are aligning yourself with destiny. You are not failing. You are rebuilding your inner self. You are not retreating. You are accumulating strength. Your love has never stopped. It has just taken a detour. And within that detour lies the answer to the future. May you have courage when moving forward, and wisdom when retreating. May you no longer be anxious because of pausing, and no longer blame yourself for being a little sore. May you find your true direction in every step you take back. May you remain calm and composed, letting things take their natural course, and when the time is right, step once more onto your path with even greater strength than before, because you must believe all temporary setbacks are for a better future.